Hello everyone, I'm Kellen Havikin with Brownfield Ag News. It's time for another United Soybean Board Checkoff Chat. I'm with Iowa farmer and USB board member April Hemis. April, welcome to our Checkoff Chat.
I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to talk about soybeans.
I think when we think about checkoff and soybeans, we think about using soy with food, but for the purpose of our conversation, we're going to talk about soybeans for non-food uses. Let's talk about what a lot of people drive on, asphalt. How are soybeans being used for asphalt?
You know, this is the best. I love this example because it started in Iowa, of course, the best state to raise soybeans in. So
allegedly, coming from a Nebraska guy.
Whatever. And so Iowa Soybean Association, which I'm a member of, goes to Iowa State University, says we have this oil, high oleic oil, we need to find something to do with it. So they put their great minds together, came up with a product to replace the petroleum and harsh chemicals they use in there with soybean oil. And then they went to the Iowa Department of Transportation, so the state got in on it. Then the Asphalt Association, so you have private dollars, state dollars, checkoff investment dollars coming together. Then they came to the United Soybean Board once they had a product ready to be tested, and then we put the big bucks in to have it road tested, and they had a great product. The wear is better, you know, it makes that asphalt last longer. So what a great story where you have farmer dollars, state dollars, you know, going together, plus the private industry to make a fantastic product so we have better roads to drive on. You
mentioned it, April, but I wanted to follow up. The asphalt, it lasts longer than the petroleum-based products that are used?
Yes, and so in our trials where it's done and they drive in that circle, drive over it, but it's lasting longer. So, you know, less tearing up those roads and road construction. So, you know, what a great partnership to have.
Okay, so we know in the Midwest, in Nebraska, especially in Iowa, wind is a problem. We get a lot of dust. There's other soybean uses that help control dust. Tell me more about that.
Isn't that exciting? And what a great thing for rural Iowa. You know, so the dust control that we have, so they've developed, rather than the old used waste oil that we all know of, you know, replacing that soybean oil in there, and it's a great dust suppressant. So, you know, a lot less dust in the air and the filters, and more ecologically friendly, so, and you know, using that good old sustainable soybean to put down on our roads to control that dust.
April, tell me about concrete. I know that's also a part of soy-based products.
Yeah, so they have a product now that I think was developed in Ohio or Indiana, one of them, but it's sprayed over the top of the concrete, and once again fills those cracks, lets it last longer, you know, and so it's out there longer. But that's soy out there doing a great job keeping those concrete roads longer.
So we're not going to have potholes, so we can replace potholes for soybeans? Is that what I'm hearing?
Wouldn't that be nice? Yes.
What are some other non-food uses for soybeans?
Oh my gosh. So we have Skechers tennis shoes and Goodyear went together, and they created a sole for their tennis shoes. So I have Skechers tennis shoes, and I always say I'm walking on soybeans. So, you know, they use this petroleum because Goodyear also developed a tire and replaced that petroleum with soy oil, and the fleets, a lot of the fleets are using it because it's such a great sustainability story. You know, it's a renewable, you know, product they can put in tires, and it's out there, and those tires out there finding are performing better also. So, you know, that's a great story out there, and especially with the sustainability story, so many customers and consumers are asking for that, you know, but where does it come from? Is it sustainable? Is it renewable? And we have the answer to all those problems.
How do you engage as a farmer with consumers who, A, maybe don't quite understand the sustainability story, and B, how do you bridge that gap when we're talking about concrete, asphalt, things like that?
Right. So especially not everyone looks at it as feed. Well, you just feed it, you know, to pigs. But when you start telling all the other things, it's over 1,000 things that soybeans can go into. Or you think of, I always say, think of all the things oil goes into. then you can just drop in that soybean oil. And then they go, oh, when you make it relatable. Plus, when I talk about, I farm my family's, it's been in my family over 123 years, so we've farmed a lot of different ways, but if you take the time to explain to them how I farm, and more importantly why I farm the way I do, then they start getting the picture, and you put a face with the farm. It's relatable. They go, I met this lady who farms in Iowa, and this is how she raises soybeans, and these are all the things that they're used for. So it's just a great story we have.
Last thing I want to quickly touch on is, okay, so USB, how do you guys use your checkoff dollars to help develop and promote these types of non-food products?
Right. So our checkoff dollars were overseen by USDA. So they go to promotion, education, and research. And the products we just talked to have all three of those components in them. And what we found especially the last few years, communication is such a huge part of this now, getting the story out. So what we do is the checkoff dollars that we get, 0.5%, half of that money goes to the state when I sell soybeans. So it goes to Iowa, and the other half comes to the United Soybean Board. And then we as farmers make those decisions. We say, this is what's important to us. This is what we want to look into research. And then future looking, the things that, well, this might work, but we don't know, but it has to be researched more. So that's how we decide, but we're a group that says this is what we want to do, and then the staff goes out and finds those products rather than having everybody come to us. So it's a great, innovative way, where we approach that.
April, those are my questions. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Please look up United Soybean Board online and find all the different things that we do.
That's Iowa farmer and United Soybean Board member April Hemis. I'm Kellen Havikin for Brownfield Ag News, and this has been another USB Checkoff Chat.